Kings fall to the Warriors 119-97 in a game where they rested all of their starters except for Harrison Barnes and actually Keegan Murray too. So rested 3 out of 5 starters, rested Malik Monk. We are locked into the 3 seed after Memphis beat the Bucks, who were resting players, I believe, as well. So we are locked into the 3 seed. So this game didn't matter. The next game won't matter either. So just getting the guys some rest because our guys have played a lot this season compared to other teams. Our guys have played more minutes than most players in the NBA. So it's good to get them a rest in these last 2 games. Also, I always find these games kind of fun. Now, usually these games are happening because we suck and it's the end of the season and we've shut down our, Fox and our other good players. But this time it's because we actually made the playoffs, which is a first. So, it's good to see some other players get extended run, although Keon Ellis only got 4 minutes and Kata didn't even play. So that was the disappointing part for me. But I think the thinking behind that was probably just they want to give guys who are actually going to be on the playoff roster the minutes so that if they are needed, they'll have a couple of games under their belt. And Keon Ellis and Nimias Keita are both on 2-way contracts, so they won't be eligible to play in the playoffs. The Kings came out just offensively, looked really bad. As expected, Davion Mitchell was not good offensively. He was missing a lot of shots. Kings just came out, and I was hoping that they would come out and kind of at least kind of stick to the principles of how we normally play, but they really didn't. And so that was a little disappointing. I was hoping we'd go to, dribble handoffs, move the ball, but it was just Davion coming around a pick and roll, firing a 3, Terrence Davis firing a 3, although Terrence Davis just firing a 3, that's not abnormal. But I was hoping, to get a little more team oriented of a game, even if, obviously our main facilitators are out. I was honestly surprised that Harrison Barnes even played 29 minutes in this one. I thought he would play 5 seconds, foul, and then check out because he's one of 2 players to have started every game this season, him and Nikola Vucevic. And so he wanted to keep that going, which is why he played, I believe. And so I thought he would rest right after the jump ball, pretty much. But also, I'm confused about that stat because that's a stat I've seen. Only the 2 players that have started every game. But what about Mikal Bridges? I thought he started every game, and I know he missed a game once he got traded that he technically could have played. But then I think the NBA said that actually he missed it because of the trade, so he didn't really miss it. So I thought he was one of those guys as well. But I don't know. The stat I saw, I guess not. Because Mikal Bridges is going to be able to play 83 games this season, which is pretty funny. The Kings came out and they got blown out in the first quarter. Just no offense. It wasn't really on the defensive side of the ball. It was just really missing shots. The starters were really bad. Could not get anything to go. Then the bench came in the second quarter and played really well and actually brought us back into it. We got within 1 at one point off of Rashawn Holmes 3, which was awesome. And I think he's 5 for 7. I heard that he was 5 for 7 from 3 on the season, which is pretty funny. Kings actually fought in this one, kept it close for a while, and then in the fourth quarter, end of the third, into the fourth quarter, Warriors pulled away. Klay Thompson hitting shots, Steph hitting shots, Jordan Poole getting to the free throw line, but he couldn't hit a shot all game. Some interesting things from this game. PJ Dozier running the point. I thought that was interesting. Obviously, without Malik Monk or De'Aaron Fox, with no Dellavedova, with Davion in the starting lineup, there's no backup point guard. So we saw Dozier running the point, and he looked okay. His 3-point shot didn't look good, but in terms of him running the point, I actually thought he made a few good passes getting inside. And then We saw Chimezie Metu just getting he would get the ball at the nail at the free throw line and kind of bail us out of possessions. And him getting the ball was actually like a good thing when the shot clock was winding down, because when the shot clock was winding down, like we're not really gonna create anything on offense when there's like 7 seconds left. No one's gonna go one on one except for Metu in the post against Looney. And he was actually beating him because Metu's just faster than Looney. Looney's not a good defender against that kind of speed because Metu has the speed as well as the length. And so it's not like Looney can just use his length against Metu, because Metu can finish over him. And so Metu looked good in this game, although it's not really sustainable in any way because you're not going to look for him to score in that way. Like that's not his role when the full team is playing. So, he's not going to play much in the playoffs, I don't think. I don't think this really means anything. It's just a guy getting an opportunity, and you can see, he's an NBA player, so he's got those skills, but it doesn't really mean that he can contribute in that way when, the rest of the team is there, because you don't want to give the ball to Metu at the free throw line to try to create something when you have De'Aaron Fox on the perimeter. It's like just give it to him, right? So he's not going to get the minutes over Alex Len. Alex Len had 5 offensive rebounds in this game, so he's going to get the playoff minutes, you would have to think. He had 6 rebounds, 5 of them offensive, although he did allow Kevon Looney to get a few offensive rebounds that maybe he shouldn't have. There's a weird play where it seemed like he was boxing him out, and then he just stopped, and the ball just landed in Looney's lap for an easy. Actually, it should have been an easy dunk, and then Looney was just like, nah, passing it to Clay on the perimeter for 3. But that was weird. Looney was dominating the boards. He had a career high 13 rebounds in the first half, Looney did. Honestly, all I'm going to take from this game is it being a success because we made Curry and Thompson play 30 plus minutes. We made Draymond play 30 plus minutes. We made their starters play 30 minutes. They didn't get their rest. Obviously they're not playing 40 minutes, but they didn't get to rest. And that's a win if we play them in the playoffs. And that's about what we're going to take from this game. I mean, I thought Rashawn Holmes looked good offensively. Lyles knocking down threes. That was good to see. Keegan Murray struggled a bit. I thought he made some good moves and just couldn't really finish them. And so that's kind of what he has to improve on, is the finishing of those moves. But honestly, he did some things that I didn't know he had in his bag. But obviously with no one creating from him, Keegan's not going to be as effective. I think everyone knows that. It's why a guy like Jabari Smith Jr. is struggling so much, because he doesn't have, guys to create for him. If Jabari Smith Jr. was on the Kings and, if he fell to 4, Keegan was at 3, then the roles might be totally reversed, which is why it doesn't really make sense to criticize Jabari this season for how he's played, especially when the Rockets have like no point guard play. And I think it speaks to why you need some veterans on a team, and that veteran point guard play, if you don't have a good young point guard, is important. I think it's why you see Corey Joseph on the Pistons. Young guys like that just need a little more help to be set up. And so, not exactly a surprising outcome in this game for Keegan. The Warriors winning means they are more likely to get the 6th seed, so they're more likely to match up against us. Although I think they can go to 5. I don't know. There's so many scenarios. I'm not going to try to understand them all. But all I know is it's more likely now that we play the Warriors, but it's also more likely that we play the Clippers, I think. I don't know. The Lakers are winning right now. I'm just not going to try to understand it, and we'll just see how it all shakes out, and we play whoever we play, and that's kind of how it is. And I think that's, the mindset of the team, because, losing to the Warriors means we're more likely to play the Warriors. If we wanted to maybe, play the Lakers or possibly the Pelicans or something, then we could have run out our whole lineup and tried to beat the Warriors and probably beaten them because they suck on the road. But I think I mean, I don't think that would have been the right thing to do at all. You just kind of, you're going to play who you're going to play. That's how it is. It's out of our control. Well, actually, not really, because again, we could have impacted it by beating the Warriors or not beating the Warriors. But, other than that, it's out of our control. So we'll see soon who we get matched up against. The next game Kings play is against the Denver Nuggets in Denver. And last game of the regular season, I would just assume everyone's getting rested again. Barnes, I'm sure, will play. Don't know how much he'll play. Maybe we'll see similar lineups. I don't know. Maybe this time we'll see Keon Ellis or Neemias Queta. I don't know. But I doubt the Nuggets are going to come out with a good lineup. So it probably will be a game of, bench versus bench. Third stringers versus third stringers, that type of thing, and not the most entertaining game of all time. But only one more game of that before what we've all been waiting for, the playoffs. So going through these boring games is worth it to see the excitement in that next game, the most exciting game that I will, have ever seen in my life. Anyways, that is it for this episode of the Real Report. Obviously, a shorter one because just wasn't a big game at all. So still, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, make sure to leave a rating and a review. You can follow me on Twitter at _the Real Report, and I will see you guys next time to recap that game against the Nuggets, the last one of the regular season. Peace.